Section: Introduction. In this section, we discuss Richard Sutton's bitter lesson, which highlights the importance of using general methods that rely on large-scale computation in artificial intelligence research. Deep learning, with its ability to learn from vast datasets, has shown remarkable progress in various fields. However, this lesson has not been fully applied in brain data analysis and tasks like speech decoding. Current brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, have made efforts to increase labeled datasets for individual subjects using invasive or non-invasive brain recordings to map speech attempts or imaginations. Yet, there are challenges in scaling up these datasets. Most speech decoding models do not train on data from multiple subjects or combine data from different sources. This limits the training data to what can be obtained for a single subject, neglecting the potential of leveraging data from other subjects or public repositories. To address these limitations, we explore self-supervised learning, SSL, as a promising approach for domains with limited labeled data. SSL involves pre-training a model on unlabeled data by creating implicit training labels through data transformations. We propose specific SSL tasks for learning from unlabeled brain data and develop an architecture for processing multi-sensor neuroimaging signals. Our method allows us to scale existing non-invasive datasets by incorporating data from other experiments, treating them as unlabeled. We evaluate the learned representations on speech datasets obtained with non-invasive magnoencephalography, MEG, setting benchmarks for speech detection and voicing classification. The results demonstrate the effectiveness of scaling with unlabeled data in speech decoding and the ability of these representations to generalize across datasets, tasks, and subjects. Our contributions include a set of domain-specific SSL tasks for scalable speech decoding, a neural architecture for learning these tasks, and experimental evidence supporting the scalability and generalization capabilities of our approach. Previous work in speech decoding has mainly focused on supervised learning models that struggle to generalize across participants or experiments. While some studies have shown improvements in decoding within individual subjects, they have not effectively utilized data from other subjects or experiments. Our approach aims to address these limitations and enable cross-dataset, task, and subject generalization in speech decoding. Section Summary. In this section, we discuss Richard Sutton's bitter lesson, emphasizing the superiority of general methods leveraging large-scale computation over model-based approaches in AI research. We highlight the challenges in scaling brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, for tasks like speech decoding due to limitations in training data from multiple subjects and datasets. By introducing self-supervised learning, SSL, and developing domain-specific pretext tasks, we demonstrate the potential to scale speech decoding across subjects, studies, and tasks using unlabeled brain data, showcasing improved generalization capabilities. Section: Method. In this section, we present our method for processing continuous neuroimaging data. We have developed a neural architecture that encodes diverse brain signals into latent representations. Our approach involves creating pretext tasks to learn generalizable brain representations and using self-supervised learning on unlabeled data. Our network architecture consists of two stages: pre-training with pretext tasks on unlabeled data and fine-tuning with labeled data to learn specific tasks. To normalize the data, we divide recordings into windows of a specific length and standardize each sensor's data within each batch. The backbone of our network processes the standardized sample windows, combining data from different numbers of sensors using a dataset conditional linear layer. We then use a wave-to-wave convolutional encoder architecture, inspired by neural audio codecs, to encode the signal into embeddings. During pre-training, we use a two-layer feed-forward projector to align our pretext tasks with downstream tasks. We then introduce linear classifiers for the pretext tasks. In the fine-tuning stage, we introduce classifiers for specific tasks and train the network with labeled data. We can fine-tune the network in two ways: shallow fine-tuning by training only the classifier on top of the pre-trained representation, or deep fine-tuning by training both the classifier and the backbone. To account for individual variations in neural responses, we introduce subject conditioning using subject embeddings in our model. We evaluate different types of conditioning, including subject embeddings and feature-wise linear modulation. Our pretext tasks aim to learn generalizable speech decoding features without relying on specific sensor channels. These tasks include band prediction, phase shift prediction, and amplitude scale prediction to capture different properties of the signal. The band prediction task involves predicting the frequency band of a filtered sample, while the phase shift prediction task focuses on predicting phase differences between brain areas. The amplitude scale prediction task aims to differentiate neural responses from different brain regions based on sensor amplitude differences. During pre-training, we combine these tasks by augmenting the input data and applying the corresponding transformations. The final pre-training loss is a combination of the losses from the individual pretext tasks. Section Summary. In this section, we introduce a neural architecture for encoding diverse brain signals into latent representations through pretext tasks, aiming to learn generalizable brain features for self-supervised learning from unlabeled data. Our two-stage network architecture involves pre-training with pretext tasks on unlabeled brain data, followed by fine-tuning with labeled data to learn downstream tasks, incorporating normalization techniques and subject conditioning to enhance model performance across different subjects and datasets. Section: Experiments. In this section, we assess the representations we learn through our pretext tasks by examining how well they enhance downstream performance with unlabeled data. We aim to see how effectively these representations can adapt across different datasets, subjects, and tasks. Our main focus is on MEG data due to its rich signal quality, superior spatial resolution compared to EEG, and faster sampling rates than fMRI. For our experiments, we primarily utilize the CAM-CAN dataset for representation learning through pre-training, which consists of 641 subjects and around 160 hours of MEG recordings from resting and sensorimotor tasks. Additionally, we employ two labeled MEG datasets related to speech perception tasks. One dataset involves 3 subjects listening to 10 hours of recordings each, while the other comprises 27 subjects with 2 hours of recordings each. In total, we work with over 200 hours of data, making this the largest MEG dataset used for speech analysis to date. To ensure data quality, we pre-process each recording by applying filters to remove artifacts and noise, downsampling the signal, and identifying and replacing faulty sensor channels. We then proceed to evaluate our methods on 2 key speech decoding tasks: speech detection and voicing classification. These tasks serve as foundational steps towards accurate speech decoding into natural language. After pre-training our models and fine-tuning them on labeled data, we analyze the generalizability of the pre-trained representations. Our results indicate that all pretext tasks lead to improved accuracy compared to randomly initialized baselines, showing the effectiveness of our learned representations for downstream speech decoding tasks. Furthermore, we explore the impact of different hyperparameters, such as the proportion of sensors used for specific predictions, on the quality of the learned representations. We observe that these choices can influence the model's ability to discriminate between neural responses from different brain regions, such as those associated with speech processing. By pre-training on unlabeled data and fine-tuning on labeled datasets, we demonstrate the scalability of our approach in improving speech decoding performance. Our experiments show that pre-training with unlabeled data significantly enhances downstream generalization, outperforming supervised baselines and highlighting the effectiveness of our self-supervised method in learning representations that can generalize across diverse datasets and tasks. Section Summary. In this section, we evaluate the representations learned through our pretext tasks by assessing their ability to enhance downstream performance with unlabeled data, focusing on generalization across datasets, subjects, and tasks, particularly using MEG data due to its rich signal quality. We utilize over 200 hours of MEG data, the largest ever used for speech decoding, pre-process the data to remove artifacts, and conduct downstream tasks like speech detection and voicing classification to demonstrate the effectiveness of our pre-training methods in improving generalization and scaling performance with unlabeled data. Our experiments show that pre-training with unlabeled data significantly enhances downstream generalization, outperforming supervised baselines and demonstrating the effectiveness of our self-supervised approach in generating generalizable representations across diverse datasets and tasks. Section: Generic self-supervised representations improve speech decoding. In this section, we explored whether incorporating labels from other speech decoding tasks could enhance the power of our representations. By moving into semi-supervised learning, where we combine labeled and unlabeled data, we aim to improve the inductive bias towards speech decoding. Our experiments, as shown in figure, involved adding speech detection or voicing as an extra loss during pre-training. Surprisingly, we found that including more labeled data did not significantly boost downstream accuracy. The self-supervised losses remained the primary factor influencing accuracy, indicating the strength of our approach. When it comes to generalizing our models to new subjects, we face challenges due to the variability in brain data across participants. Despite achieving generalization across subjects, we delved into the even tougher task of generalizing to novel subjects. By pre-training and fine-tuning on a subset of data while holding out 3 subjects for evaluation, we investigated the impact of different conditioning methods. We observed that subject conditioning methods improved in distribution subject generalization, with film being the most effective. However, for novel subject generalization, the use of conditioning methods had minimal impact, leading to reduced accuracy compared to in distribution subjects. While our results showcase a promising path for scaling up speech-brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, there are several limitations to address. Our focus on speech detection and voice classification tasks is just the beginning, as we aim to advance to predicting full transcripts from brain recordings, i.e., brain to text. Although we have made progress with surgical data, achieving this with non-invasive methods like MEG or EEG remains a challenge. Additionally, we acknowledge the need to explore more pretext tasks and input representations for brain recordings, such as spatial features. Furthermore, we recognize the importance of extending our methods to different types of speech, like attempted or imagined speech. Despite surpassing previous studies in data usage, the potential improvements from scaling up the number of datasets for speech decoding tasks remain to be fully understood. By sharing our work, we hope to make a significant impact on the field as we continue to expand the datasets available for our research.